Pause for a second. Close your eyes. Think of history. What do you see? Pyramids, golden artifacts, hieroglyphs. What do you hear? The silence of the centuries. But what do you smell? Most of us imagine the scent of the past as dust, mold, decay. Logical, but wrong. In labs across Turin, Cairo, and Carmona, scientists are proving that smell is one of archaeology's most resilient time capsules. This is not poetry, it's chemistry. And it all began with a tomb where 3,400 years later, the air still carries a trace of something ancient. Our story doesn't start with a pharaoh, but with an architect, Kha, chief of works, and his wife, Merit. They lived in Deir el-Medina, the artisans' village of the New Kingdom, around 1450 BCE. In 1906, Italian archaeologist Ernesto Schiaparelli discovered their tomb, TT8. It was untouched, unplundered, a snapshot of daily life from ancient Egypt. Furniture, tools, food, clothing, and, according to Schiaparelli's notes, a sweet, fruity aroma coming from the sealed offerings. At the time, there were no instruments to capture or preserve such odors. But decades later, in the Egyptian Museum of Turin, curators continued to report a faint sweetness near the jars and amphorae. Was it imagination or chemistry refusing to die? Enter analytical chemistry and gas chromatography coupled with mass spectrometry, or GC-MS. It sounds complex, but its logic is simple. Separate vaporized molecules, then identify them by their mass. In recent years, scientists collected minute air and residue samples from the sealed containers of Kha and Merit. The GCMS revealed aldehydes, long-chain hydrocarbons, and trimethylamine, molecules linked to animal fats, dried fish, and fruits. The sweet aroma noted by curators? It likely came from slow decomposition of plant pigments and beeswax sealants, releasing volatile esters through the centuries. Not miracle, not imagination. Chemistry. Now to another tomb, another mystery. Senetnay, an elite woman of the 18th dynasty, a contemporary of Kha. In 2023, a team led by Dr. Barbara Huber at the Max Planck Institute analyzed residues from Senetnay's canopic jars, containers once holding her internal organs. The results were astonishing. The balm contained beeswax, plant oils and fats, conifer resins like pine and cedar, and pistachia resin, the same resin family that produces mastic. They also detected vanillic acid and coumarin, compounds associated with sweet and balsamic aromas. This was no random mixture. It was a recipe, part chemistry, part theology. For ancient Egyptians, fragrance was sacred. To smell good was to be close to the gods. They believed pleasant scent, called neferu, symbolized purity, divinity, and resurrection. The mummification balm wasn't just preservation. It was ritual perfumery, the aroma of eternal life. Fast forward 1,500 years and 3,000 kilometers west to Carmona, Spain. In 2019, archaeologists found an intact Roman tomb from the 1st century CE. Inside was a crystal urn sealed with a dolomite stopper, containing a solid residue. It was perfume. Ancient, trapped in stone. In 2023, scientists from the University of Córdoba analyzed the material. They identified a lipid base, probably olive oil, and compounds consistent with patchouli, a plant native to India and Southeast Asia. This was proof of the Roman Empire's vast trade network and of chemistry's endurance through time. Meanwhile, in Egypt, researchers from the Tel Tamai project studied amphora residues from the ancient city of Thammuis, a known perfume center. By comparing the chemical markers and ancient texts, they reconstructed the legendary Mendesian and Metopian perfumes, mixtures of myrrh, cinnamon, cassia, and moringa oil. Some say the result resembles the fragrance Cleopatra herself might have worn: strong, spicy, and balsamic. The Chanel No. 5 of antiquity, recreated molecule by molecule. Smell doesn't just tell us about the past, it protects it. Every artifact, every organic material releases a chemical signature, VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. These molecules change as materials decay. A rise in acidic compounds can warn of cellulose breakdown. Musty odors indicate fungal activity. By tracking VOCs inside museum cases, conservators can detect deterioration before any visible damage occurs. If sensors in Turin detect a spike in certain molecules around Kha and Merit's offerings, it's an early alert that their microenvironment is shifting. The odor molecule becomes a guardian of preservation. We can literally smell the warning before history crumbles. 3.5 millennia. And yet, in darkness and silence, a molecule survives. Under the right conditions, a sealed vessel, a resin-rich balm, a perfectly dry chamber, volatile compounds endure. They drift, slowly, invisibly, carrying stories no text could preserve. It isn't miracle or myth. It's matter obeying physics. Chemistry working patiently through time. Every civilization didn't just look a certain way. It smelled a certain way. The scent of cedar, of beeswax, of myrrh, of lives carefully embalmed, preserved, and remembered. To truly understand the past, we must go beyond what we see. We must smell it. If you enjoyed this journey into the science that lets us smell time itself, subscribe and let the next mystery find you. Veil Origins: Impossible Truths.